Question 6 on our first worksheet for 10.4 says a temp agency has 15 workers. In how many ways can they? We've got two different parts. Part A says send 3 workers to go work for 3 different companies. And part B says send 3 workers to go work for the IT department. So we really have to think about in these questions, how many quote-unquote events are we doing? So notice both of them are choosing 3 people, but maybe what they're doing with those people is different. So maybe we think about that idea of, are the people all one group? Are they all doing the same thing? Or are they all individuals where they're doing different things? In the first one, notice we were sending 3 workers to work for 3 different companies. So who we send to which company matters. So in that one, we actually have 3 different events. And probably the way I would label them is based on companies. So we would have like company 1, company 2, and company 3, right? Who am I going to send to the first company? Who am I going to send to the second? And who am I going to send to the third? And we are sending 3 workers. So let's think about the numbers that go in these. So the company 1, how many people do I have to pick from? Well, the temp agency has a total of 15 people. So I would have 15 options for that one. Now, if I'm going to send a total of 3 people, then company 2 must be a different worker. So we'd be down to only 14 options. And company 3 must also be different, so only 13 options. And we have 3 separate events, right? I have to pick these differently. It matters who goes to company 1 versus who goes to company 2. So really we're doing sequential counting, which says multiply those numbers together. So let's multiply them. So we've got 15 times 14 times 13, which is 2,730. Now, how is this different from part B? Now, part B says send 3 workers to go work for the IT department. So are the people really doing something different? Well, no, they're just all doing the same thing. So it doesn't matter the order I pick them in, it just matters who am I sending. So because they're all going to the same thing, this is really just a group of people. So send a group of 3 from, we have to think about how many people do we have to pick those 3 from, and it'd be the total number of 15 workers. So hopefully we can start to see the difference between those. This is what I kept saying when we were talking about combinations. Sometimes you think about using combinations when the order you pick people in doesn't matter, but sometimes you do it when you think about the context of the people aren't assigned to different roles, they all do the same role. So that's another way to think about the fact that they're all a group, because it just matters who's in the group. So this is going to be one event, just a single combination, where from 15 we're going to pick 3. So that means we're going to have 15 factorial over 3 factorial, and then 15 minus 3 is 12, so 12 factorial. So then I've got 15 factorial. Oh, actually, let's just start to write it out. So 15 factorial is 15 times 14 times 13 times 12, and 12 factorial is on the bottom, so let's put 12 factorial in the top. So then that's over 3 factorial, 12 factorial. Cancel those 12 factorials, we're left with 15 times 14 times 13 over 3 times 2 times 1. 15 times 14 times 13, we could do it in the calculator again, or we could recognize it as being the number from above, which was 2,730. And then 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. So we're going to take that 12,730 and divide it by 6 to get 455. Notice this number is a lot smaller. Anytime you do a combination, it's a much smaller number because there's less options. With this bottom question with part B, all that matters is who gets picked. So if I pick Bob and Alice and Sue, there's only one way to pick them, to just pick those three people. But up top, having Bob and Alice and Sue, well, it also makes a difference of which one of them goes to company 1, right? Is it Bob or Alice or Sue? And then which one to 2 and which one to 3. So every arrangement of those people also gets counted as different, let alone then picking 3 completely different people. So there's always a lot more number of options if we care about the order that they're doing, or if the people have different roles versus if we pick a group of people.